need just a couple more inches. So two things. It turns out if you run into the gas station little those concrete posts beside the fuel pumps, that they win every time. So I bent this really bad, but it finally vibrated loose on the road. Right here you can see the welds are actually broken. I think you can see it anyway. And so I'm gonna cut this off and see if I can beat this back out, weld it up, make it better, and then repaint it. And then also I have a hydraulic leak. I'm pretty sure that's just a hose that's come loose a little bit just through wiggling back and forth. But I figure since I have it here, I'm gonna go ahead and service it up. It's got grease pots, grease zerks that I need to hit. I haven't hit them in a while, so I'll go ahead and grease this trailer and get it ready for this year. And then yeah, I'll take you guys on the whole trip of this. So right here, we couldn't bring the trailer over and put it inside the shop. Obviously it's just too big. So I brought the shop outside. I made this mobile welding thing last year. This is my plasma cutter. This is my welder. This will do MIG, TIG, shielded wire, all the welding, stick welding. It's got the multi-processor welding. And I don't know if you guys are like me, but Harbor Freight is where I get most of my Christmas presents from. So if you're interested in any of those, that's all Harbor Freight stuff. They make some good stuff. You know, years ago you only could get like, you know, the really cheap stuff. Now they have really good quality stuff. They still have that cheap stuff too, like if you just need to do the job one time. So I'm gonna use this mini skid steer to pick this trailer up and pull it over. The irony is over at the farm I have the adapter with a ball so that I could actually pick it up on the ball, but I don't have that here, so we'll make do. This will be fine for, I'm only moving it on blacktop a few feet. Hope this is 4,000 pounds. I think we'll be heavy enough to pick it up and move it. If not, I'll have to go get the tractor. I'm gonna go real slow. No rush to get there. No rush to bend my bucket either. All right, we're off the ground. Woo, look at that. Back on the ground. All right, we're going to have to re-lick this calf. So what it is, I've got the load too far out. So let me go down, curl my bucket way back, and that'll cause the load to be closer to the front of the skid steer. And it won't have as much of an advantage. I just gotta make sure I don't cut any lines, electric lines there, okay? A couple of inches may make a difference. Or it may not make a difference. It did. We're not going fast though. We're gonna take this dude slow. That's another good thing about the adapter with a trailer ball on it. It don't really weigh anything. It's just a little adapter plate. Right now I'm giving up, I don't know, probably 100 pounds for that bucket. We'll take it up just a little bit more. Got to make sure those wheels stay on that blacktop, because if they get off, I think we'll have to get a tractor to get it out. Guys, I can't believe I get to do this stuff. I know it's a repair. Nobody wants to do a repair, but to me, this is kind of fun. Especially on a day like today when it's 65 degrees, 68 degrees and sunny. Now this is where this is a benefit, because the tractor would be hard to get this in here. Right there at that tipping point. I'm hanging my booty way off the back. I need just a couple more inches. Oh, it slid over out of the center. There we go. That's close enough. I'm going to make sure I'm not touching the bucket because this has got a lot of electronics on it, and sometimes when you weld, you can actually disregard the backyard. Well, you've seen it on the video already. We're taking that pool out, and there's can't mow, and yeah. So I was coming around 840, which is a interstate. We're going to this side. Well, you can go that side, it'll be fine. I was going around 840, and just I think I told you guys, when you around the gas pumps, they have those big metal posts around the pumps themselves. Well, they win every time, and I bent that that footstep. I just folded it over. Yeah, I folded it over, and I pulled it back out with a tractor, and it's been good for a year or so. But I was going around 840 around Nashville, and I don't know if you guys have ever been around 840, but it's the most horrible road ever. From new, it was horrible. And all of a sudden we were going down the road, and I hear tick, and I'm like, what is that noise? What? Something's broke. And yeah. So it literally broke. This is going down the road going this. It's just doing this. And I thought the world was coming apart. I thought the trailer was coming apart. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and nip this off right here. And then I'll grind these down and see if I can beat this out, straighten this out a little bit. Probably put another tack weld there, or put another weld there, just kind of strengthen this back up. And then I'll weld it back up under. That's the plan anyway.
You may just go ahead and just cut it off and put a new piece of metal on there.
You want to run the camera, or you want to weld?
No.
Tell me about your fabrication experience.
Well, if I don't tell you how to do things, you break things and tear stuff up. Remember earlier?
Yeah. No, I don't know what you're talking about. Let's see if I can get that knot. It's like one of those medical coats. You know what I'm talking about? You go get the exam, and your butt shows through the beer. That's kind of what this is. Huh? So I'm going to ask ChatGPT a question. All right, I have the plasma cutter from Harbor Freight called Titanium Plasma 65. I'm going to be cutting about 1/4 inch steel. What should be my settings?
For cutting 1/4 inch steel with the Titanium Plasma 65, you want to focus on 3 key parameters: amperage, air pressure, and travel speed. Amperage, the Titanium Plasma 65 typically maxes out at 65 amps, but for 1/4 inch steel, around 45 to 50 amps is sufficient. This will give you clean cuts without prematurely wearing consumables. Air pressure, check the plasma cutter's manual, but generally you want roughly 60 to 75 psi of clean, dry air. Ensure you have a consistent air supply, as fluctuations...
All right, I gotta go inside to the air compressor, and I gotta adjust the how much air. I'll be right back. So I just tilted the trailer up. I got to think about work smarter, not harder, eye level, so it's a little easier to work. I don't have to bend over. Basically, what I got to do is provide a ground for the plasma cutter. I got plenty of expendables, but I really don't like freehanding that tip. That'll let me get a much closer cut. Well, it does a good job. Other than my freehand, I really do need a shirt, my leather jacket. All right, let this thing cool off. This tip stays on until I turn it off the way I got it set up. So if you arc it, It'll stay air on, keep your expendables cool. Or you can set it where it just comes on and off whenever you arc. But this way, you have to turn the air off. That way, but it also makes your expendables last a lot longer and keep them cool. I only touched the end just a little bit. You know, nowadays you got to think about expendables. Oh, they're not cheap anymore. Nothing's cheap anymore. I didn't think that through. There we go. Get that out of the way so it doesn't get too hot. I think it's going to be to my benefit to take the plasma cutter and just knock that down, because otherwise I'm going to be trying to grind that all afternoon. Not really, but I got it sitting here running. This time I will wear my plasma cutter glasses. I knew that was bright. I will say that plasma cutter's for real. I mean, it just cut through that like it was nothing. And I set it on the low end of the settings. Let that cool off.
Like fireworks.
Yeah, it kind of does smell like fireworks, doesn't it? Cut it right off.
Don't put that on the ground.
Well, we can't hold it right now. We can't put it in the trash right now. Unless you want to catch everything on fire. But that's totally up to you. Well, right now, that's the safest place for it. All I need to do is just snip that off.
Make it shorter.
You just make it 1/16 or 1/8 of an inch shorter than it was. I won't tell if nobody else will. One thing I really would like to straighten that out a little bit, and this out a little bit. Need an anvil. Used to see them anvils at like yard sales and flea markets all the time. Pick them up for $15-20. Now they're like $1,000. People realize how important an anvil is. It's not bad. Not bad. Huh? It's got a smile. It's a smiley face. It's better than what it was. I guess I could build a whole new one. I think I'm gonna put something across here so that it won't shake back and forth anymore.
It'll get in the way when you step on it.
Probably need to run a weld right there too. If you look, there's a crack right there where that's been rattling back and forth. All right, let's cut these off. I don't really know if it's cute or not. Put it like right there and then use right there. have been it too much. That's pretty boogered up. Yeah. I gotta cut this one off first because it's the worst mangled, and that'll let me get my length, and then I'll use it as a measurement. So from the back corner, we're at 10 3/4 inches. So I need to cut this one to be 10 3/4 inches from the. It's.
Do you know where to cut? I'm trying to tell you what to do.
Yes, you are. It's exactly what you're doing. Tell me what to do, and then you're saying you're not trying to do it. It's okay though. It's okay. What makes it bad is most times you're right, and that's what really makes it tough on me. That's not really true. I don't care. All right, there's a mark. At least I had a pencil. Can't see it. Put black on black. I missed the mark a little bit. I need to come out just a little bit more. Battery's getting weak. Battery's old. It's 4 years old. So I think it's coming to the end of its life. All right, that's done. So I'm gonna go ahead and probably the light. Yeah, I was gonna get that light out of the way. I'll probably kind of. It's got a plug. How about that? There we go. When we put this back in here, there we go. All right, so we're running flux core wire. So I've determined this is actually 3/16, or close to 3/16. I'm using flux core 0.035 inch, and I need 275 amps, 20 volts, and it says the wire feed should be between 5 and 10. So I'm going to start out at 7, and we can always adjust. Honestly, by the time I get it dialed in, it'll be over with. Let's see what we got. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna weld this side first, tack it on, pretty heavy tack, and then I'll come back and bend this one back into place, and then we'll clamp it. I feel like that's pretty good tack though. It's ugly, that last piece. It's feeding just a little hot. Go back to 6. All right, let's go ahead and get this one in place. Tacked on there. Got some pretty good penetration there. fix that little burnout spot. I'm going to build that up a little bit there. All right, we'll go ahead and put this up, but I want the distance so I can get up on there and check them hoses. It's got a leak. You can see right here it's leaked quite a bit since it's been sitting here. Nothing major, but seems like it's doing it more and more. Shake this up, let this straight, but what I'm going to do first is get up on here. I got this up to safety. If something was to break, it would at least come down and catch and not fall on my head. This locks into place. I've been meaning to do this for 4 years ever since I was built. So we're going to move this back side. This is the one place they didn't paint. I've been saying, well, I'm going to paint this for I don't know, 4 years ever since we had it. Now it's got runs. Better than me having the runs. What? I think we have a hose issue and not an actual fitting loose. You see that fitting right here, and it's got this flare off to the side. That's not supposed to be that way. When they crimp them, that's just a poor crimp, a bad crimp. I believe that's the problem right there. We have to take this hose off. I have to let it down on its crutch, and then take this hose off and have a new input on it. All right, so I found out I got the old brake cleaner over here, and I have determined that it's not leaking from the fitting. It's actually a bad crimp, and it's leaking from that crimp's horrible crimp. Probably one of the worst crimps I've ever seen. So I'm going to take this whole line off all the way back to the pump. I'm sure this is going to make a big mess, so I'll get this done. And there's like 1,000 zip ties down through here, so I'll get this done and I'll be back with you in a little bit. I mean, I don't even know if they make the hoses. They may just order them from a company, but that was definitely a flawed hose. It's really poorly crimped. At the time it took to get somebody to get me new hoses. Alright, I gotta route this thing back through these little loops. Alright. There we go. So I'm going to zip tie this up, then I'll have to add oil. So what I have to do is go through and put this down, and then we're going to cycle it up and down 2 or 3 times, get all the air out. It'll take probably 10 times cycling it completely to get the air out. I could have like cracked the line on the bottom and let it bleed the air out, but it would make a big mess, and it'll take care of itself. All I gotta do is just over the next few times that I do this, keep an eye on the oil level. So let me get this stuff off of here. All right, guys, I really appreciate you watching our channel. We got all our repairs done. I feel pretty good about it. I will go through here in a few minutes and grease all this. You guys really don't want to see all that. God bless. Have a great day.